right, so I am here with a member of Manga Bento. So, could you explain yourself to the viewers? Who are you and how are you affiliated with Manga Bento?
I'm Devin, and Manga Bento started at Borders in like 2002. And before there was Manga Bento, there was an artist from Japan who came to Hawaii to work on Final Fantasy. And she didn't want to leave, and then she started doing workshops. And in the workshops, there would be like, she would talk about like how to do the tones, which is like the background designs in a comic, manga. So I went to one of those workshops because I've always been interested in like making my own comic, making my own like film, writing stories. So it kind of matched my interests. And then when I was there, they asked if I wanted to join and help them teach, so I did. And then a few months later, we were sitting around Borders, trying to figure out like what to call the group because we had needed a name. And then somebody said Manga Bento. It was kind of funny, quirky, and that's kind of how the group has stayed, kind of like quirky, different, sort of weird group.
Could you recall back to, I guess, maybe like the Borders days? How did it feel like just coming together as different artists that, you know, maybe you wanted to teach art or wanted to learn more art? How did it feel like first coming into Manga Bento?
Back then, the group was very different. When it first started, it was, I think, more adults because there was a lot of evening hours. And people who were interested in like actually drawing would come, and like everybody would be drawing, and then be people like walking around going how to do this, how to do that. And then as it slowly evolved, and we moved to Mid-Pac when Ayumi went back to Japan. So when it went there, then it became more of a younger crowd, like high school, almost all girls. I guess there was some middle school, high school, and then a few older people. And then when we came to Academy of Arts, it changed again. Less people were drawing, and they started doing more like other types of activities, like just talking about manga and anime and other Japanese pop culture stuff, otaku stuff. And then the age of the group started getting older and older too. And now most people who are part of it are out of college. Like everybody's just aged.
Yeah.
It's been like 13 years, 14 years. So it's been a long time. And recently, when Heidi came along, now the group is a little bit toward the big cafe stuff and cosplay. So it kind of involves like a whole bunch of different genres and Japanese pop culture.
Wow. So as it grew out of like Borders into like the school area, like from the adult scene to like more high school, middle school kids, and now people out of college, do you feel that like maybe the original goals for Manga Bento, like, are they kind of different from when it first started, or is it still kind of on the same path of, you know, Manga Bento style, chill, art, relax with each other now?
Yeah, it's still that whole idea of being like really relaxed and not like worrying about like how good you are, or, like what your level is at. I think the group exists to like bring people together and try to like encourage people to make things and grow more than like it's not really much of a competition or anything like that.
Oh yeah, like that sense of community where you taught art, you were interested in it, and other people are like, you know, the group is pretty diverse. Like you said, they grew not just into art, but now they're going towards maybe cafe and cosplay.
Yeah, and like a lot of them do like games, like computer games, board games. So it kind of spans like I don't even understand like most of the stuff that they do.
Do you feel that the art form that Manga Bento promoted, like, is there a lot of maybe there's a different public perception of it now than back in the past, or You know, because now like since you've grown so much, now you even have a yearly art exhibit. How do you feel like the public perception of manga or the art form that Manga Bento promotes is?
I think there are more and more people who are aware of manga and anime. When we first started, I think it was just beginning to like grip like the entire country as a whole, and now it's like firmly entrenched in the entire world. I think since like I even have like translations of I think it was Naruto in like Turkish.
Nice.
That was like somebody brought a gift back for me from we went to Turkey.
And yeah, like how do you feel that like now that you even have like a art exhibit, how do you feel it was difficult organizing like the new variety of artists of Manga Bento to come together and make your yearly art show?
Oh, the art exhibit came out of like doing a yearly contest. Art contest, and for those it would just be a one-day thing. We'd like put up a whole bunch of art on the wall that people would bring in, and then we'd just give awards for like best of show or like best cosplay costume or something like that. And then, but since when we came to the academy, and since I know a lot of the academy staff, I just go like, can we have a show? Can we turn this into an exhibit? And we're like, yeah, sure. And so it started out small, where it's just like kind of traditional looking, and where we just have art on the wall. And then one day, like one of the members wanted to put like kakimochi on the wall, the sound of that's included in manga. And so we started like putting all this other stuff all over the place, and it became like where the walls themselves became more like an art installation than just like a way to view an individual's art. It became like a collaborative,
like an experience of manga.
It was like a collage, like you walking into a manga. Yeah.
So, yeah, you really feel it when you walk in. Like you see the separate panels, and like you said the sound effects in manga.
Yeah. So that dynamic is kind of something that is really difficult to get, I think. Very few groups would have enough like energy and cohesiveness to build a show like that.
Well, yeah, it's just have it flow together like with a centralized theme, and yeah, it's almost all over the place when you go to like a place like Kawaii-Con or like any other convention scene. You hardly see like large group collaborations.
Yeah, it's a rare thing.
Yeah, so like part of the community outreach, like I guess not everyone has like a developed art. They never really developed their artistic talent. Like, how is it like, I guess, teaching people with activities inside Manga Bento?
It's right now it's pretty informal. When we first started, it would be very didactic, and we'd go like, this is how you do this certain thing. And now if people show up, they just ask whoever who they think might have the expertise, and you start a conversation. So it's more like a conversation when you learn, I think, here. On occasion, we do have like workshops where we'll do like a make and take, usually with like more popular with like elementary school kids, I think. And so those are at like museums or like a Buddhist church, and that's some sort of activities like that. Yeah, so we've been at the JCCH, a couple of Buddhist temples, and Bishop Museum, the Art Academy, and someplace else, I forget where.
Yeah.
We do like 3 or 4 volunteer activities a year.
Oh wow. Yeah, so like for the volunteer activities, how about just for the regular informal meetings? Like how often is that for Manga Bento?
The regular meetings are usually on the 2nd and 4th Sunday throughout the year. It gets interrupted by things like Kawaii-Con or like other conventions. Sometimes like I can't remember what it's called.
Or like the Honolulu Comic Con.
Oh, the Honolulu Festival.
Or
Yeah,
the Honolulu Festival.
yeah, that's kind of a big thing that kind of comes up and like just falls on whatever day it falls on.
Well, yeah, that's good that they're still, making time because, for the different groups or people within Manga Bento, they still like to attend other local events.
Yeah. So as the group's gotten more like pressed, and more of the members have been able to contribute activities. So it's not just like 1 or 2 people.
Yeah, that's really good because you really bring Manga Bento as a whole really brings a variety for just more things to do because, does it feel different going to maybe a smaller high school anime club or the university anime club? They mainly focus on just maybe sitting down and watching anime together or maybe talking about a manga that they read, but for this one where you actually collaborate and do things together, you have that structure where we can express ourselves in an art form that happens to be manga. How does it feel being a part of that?
Yeah, that's the only reason why I come, because otherwise if it's just talking about it, we're not gonna
it needs something to do.
Gotta do something. When I think that when the manga clubs first started out, it was people would get together to watch the fan subs, and then once the internet kind of put the fan subs on the computer, that need was not as great because before you had to go find the thing and mail order it or something and convince somebody to translate it for you.
Yeah.
So it was a lot more complicated before. And so there were I think 2 or 3 anime clubs, some of which are still going that cater to those people. But now those people are all middle aged now.
Yeah. But it's good that you're, because even if you just stick with the old dubbing groups or subbing groups, now when you look at it now, this community of Manga Bento has been growing. You've been teaching more people, and you've been just involving them into their different interests besides just drawn art, but also incorporating cosplay and maid cafe. It's pretty awesome. Yeah. So, is there any other events that you want to promote, or anything else you want to promote on behalf of Manga Bento?
I think next year's show they're talking about doing it shoujo theme, so girls manga. So that should be that's usually the culmination of the year, even though it's usually in summertime.
Well, that's perfect. I mean, in Hawaii, most of our school schedule or even work schedule is still kind of based around summer is the time to hang out, and it really flows into the community. Yeah, and it started from you said Yumi, and it grew into this group that it'll go into different workshops. It'll help do what the art form that the people want to do. Help them develop it.
And then summertime, later this summer, Yumi's coming to Hawaii to teach a workshop with some of her staff members from Japan. So that should be exciting.
Awesome.
So that you can find out about it on the Academy's website.
Okay.
It'll be on their adult classes. And then for Manga Bento, we'll be at Amazing Con, Anime Matsuri. There's some other con that's coming up, but I can't remember. Oh, there's a
lot.
Otaku.
The Otaku
Con
Festival?
Otaku Summers Festival will be there. Well, I'll be there. It's not really part of Manga Bento, but I'll be there. Actually, 2 of the members of Manga Bento will be there together, so it's kind of like Manga Bento.
Yeah.
And then
lead an art class maybe.
What else is there? Oh, we're gonna do the Fire Station mural. So that'll be up at the Honolulu Museum of Art, at the former Contemporary Museum, which is now called Spalding House. That's a pretty big event. I think those are the major upcoming things.
Yeah. Is there anything you want to say to, I guess, the other iAnchor RO viewers tuning in to hear about Manga Bento?
Anybody can come. Right now it's mostly adults, but in the past, whole groups of 7th graders have come together, which is a little harder for young kids to come to individual meetings. But 7th grade and up is pretty easy.
Mhm.
If you come alone, it's a little harder sometimes to get settled. So just bring a friend.
Do you feel it's easy to get your family members involved into manga bento? Maybe to draw a little bit with dad?
On occasion, yeah, families do come.
Mhm.
Once in a while. Like sometimes my son comes, but it's just like pulling teeth to get him there.
Well, yeah, there's just so much options, and at least there is the option of expressing yourself in art.
Yeah,
Or-
there's a couple of times like the whole family came. It's kind of cool.
Well, yeah, thank you so much for talking about Manga Bento's history and like the goals, and yeah, just sharing with the community for iAnchor what it is that you do and how they can, reach out to Manga Bento and how they can get involved and where to see us. Yeah.
Oh yeah, if
Yeah,
there's like
thanks again.
opportunities for us to like participate in, like please contact us on Facebook.
Mhm. All right, thanks so much. I am signing off.